Back then, I thought that by the time I reached 27 or 28, I would eventually meet someone. But when I turned 28 and then 30 and still hadn't met anyone, I started to feel a little anxious.
And this is what happened when you're searching for perfection, right? You ain't gonna get everything. I think a lot of people are searching for this perfect person, this unicorn person. Like you ain't gonna get everything in one person. Hey, what is up, YouTube fam? Welcome back to Richie Rich Abroad. I'm your host, Richie Rich.
And this is Cheng.
Today we're bringing you another video from All Asian Dilemmas. And this video is pretty interesting because...
because you are gonna see the distinct difference between two different Asian cultures.
For sure, we're continuing our series of East and West, the differences in relationships and things that will not happen and you will not see here in the Philippines.
We won't promise that we won't get your blood pressure rise, but we'll try our best to keep it down. Before we head into this video, don't forget to hit the like, to subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get updated on our latest videos.
And drop those comments. You know I like to read them and I always respond.
I do too.
Yeah, you do. You do pretty good about that.
Thank you.
Audience is important.
It is.
We love our audience.
We love our audience. And that's our way of showing our love.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like one big happy family.
That's right. We built a YouTube community.
We did,
like
kind of, huh?
Yeah.
It's a cool little community, right?
Now I can hear myself. Like, you're like myself now. You're like a parrot. You're repeating what I'm saying.
Dude, all day today, you've been like giggly, like...
Nah, I'm just
like
happy.
Smurf.
I'm just happy.
You're like jokey Smurf today.
I'm Smurfette, the only Smurf that you'll have.
Forget about Smurfs and stay tuned to the end of the video because you know with her on the set, with Smurfette on the set, there's always some bloopers and outtakes. So be sure to stay to the end of the video and check those out.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Ching, go ahead, kick the intro. Let's get into this video.
I
am a 40-year-old single woman, and as I sit here in a quiet cafe reflecting on my life, I can't help but feel the weight of the choices I've made over the past 2 decades. 10 years of arranged dates, countless introductions, and an unending quest for the perfect match have led me to this moment of regret.
See, this is what I'm going to tell you. This is what I've been telling you guys. If a woman in China she's 40 years old. She said,
that's what she said.
Yeah, if you're 30 to 40 years old and you're still single, that's your fault. It's your fault because there's been countless men introduced to you. Countless. Your friends, your friends, your auntie, your uncle, your mother, your father, your colleagues, everybody's introducing dudes to you. You're going on multiple blind dates. You can't find one dude that's okay. You can't find one. That's why I don't feel sorry for these women.
Go ahead. Yeah, I think 10 years of going through blind dates, and for you, nothing is compatible with you. What's wrong with that? Something's wrong.
All of them dudes, none of those dudes is good enough for you? None of them?
Yeah,
Anyway.
My story isn't unique, but I hope sharing it will serve as a lesson to others.
It will.
Don't make the same mistakes I did. When I was 20, I was in university and madly in love. My boyfriend and I met in a student club, bonding over shared dreams and simple joys. We dated for 3 years, and I was sure he was my soulmate.
3 years?
He was kind, supportive, and saw a future with me. But life wasn't that simple. His family's financial struggles loomed large. They lived in a small house, barely making ends meet. One day, he proposed to me in a theater, holding a bouquet of flowers, and for a moment, I was overwhelmed with emotion. Then reality hit me. He had no house, no stable career, and no way to offer me security. I said no. Breaking up with him shattered me.
At the age of 20, you're still building your career. You don't have anything at that point.
Who had anything at 20? I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of at 20 years old.
Because you're still, on the search of you're job hunting, you're establishing your career. Of course, it's a given that, if you find a person that you can grow with and you can build, your life with, you do it together. So for me, if you found that person, like someone to grow with you, to build with you, and a ride or die person, if you may call it. So I think don't let that person go for me.
That's what I'm thinking. 3 years is a long time. And she didn't have nothing bad to say about him, like he was a bad dude. He just didn't have no money. But isn't that what a relationship is?
Yeah,
You build together. I get what she's saying, but look, at 20 years old, come on, baby. You got to, help a brother out. I mean, you got to be willing to grow with a dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
Breaking up with him shattered me, but I convinced myself it was the right decision. You'll find someone better, I thought. Someone who could provide both love and a stable future. Yet, in hindsight, I realized that was probably the purest love I'll ever experience. By 25, I had completed my master's degree and landed a prestigious job in Beijing. I felt invincible, like I had the world at my feet. A colleague introduced me to a man who, on paper, was everything I thought I needed: a good job, a house, a car, and a stable family. He was generous and treated me well. But as we dated, I realized something was missing. Conversations felt forced, his humor didn't resonate with me, and there was no emotional depth. I ended it, certain I could find someone who met all my expectations.
Right, and this is what happened when you're searching for perfection, right? You ain't gonna get everything. I think a lot of people are searching for this perfect person, this unicorn person. Like you ain't gonna get everything in one person.
For me, I seek emotional connection first and compatibility. And then after that, if you see the potential, can we grow together as a person, or can we build something together? Then that's where you invest fully to your potential partner. Because a lot of these women think that, I can get someone else next time or better, but they're not. You don't get it twice. You don't meet that same exact person twice. Someone you can really connect with. I think that's important for me.
What I normally look for, honestly, is somebody who likes learning, someone who's curious, someone who likes learning. And here's the biggest thing for me: she got to work hard. She got to be a hard-working person, and I don't mean secularly. I just mean in life. She's got to be willing to put in work. Period. If she wants me to put in work, provide and protect, she's got to be willing to. She has to be willing to do the same thing, and I want to see that.
And there was no emotional depth. I ended it, certain I could find someone who met all my expectations, both practical and romantic. At 28, I met someone new. He was a doctor, smart and kind, and I thought, this is it.
She got a doctor this time, right?
Smart,
right?
kind.
Yay, right? Got money, smart, right?
Kind.
Okay, all right.
For a while, things felt perfect. But then I met his family. His parents scrutinized me as though I were applying for a job, questioning everything from my background to my cooking skills.
Now it's you. Now it's you that ain't good enough, right? Look how the tables have turned, right? Before you was questioning them, but now it's you ain't good enough. Your education is garbage. I mean, according to them, right? And suddenly now you feeling a little bit foolish. Right.
You're like out of the league, out of his league.
Yeah, you are. He's out of your league. He's out of your league.
Okay, now he's out of your league now.
Exactly.
So
at least his parents think so. Right? And the man's a doctor. He's done a couple good things, at least. But in China, status is everything, and everybody dates up. People, they have to at least date someone their same status or up. They can never go down, or else the whole family loses face.
Okay.
They subtly hinted that I wasn't good enough for their son. Instead of addressing the issue, I walked away. Pride stopped me from trying, and fear of
She dipped. She wasn't trying to hear it. She's just like, you know what? I suck, dude. And she just dipped.
You can work it out if you really want to. I mean,
she was scared. He was, like she said, she thought he was out of her league.
Yeah, but if the guy is willing to fight for her, she could just try. If she didn't try, she just dipped, she just walk away. That means she's not really into it.
She wasn't really into it in the first place, right?
Anyway.
And fear of rejection drove me to end something that might have worked.
Right.
By the time I turned 30, I felt the pressure of time.
It showed.
The prospect of being alone terrified me, so I threw myself into dating apps, matchmaking events, and blind dates. The more people I met, the more discouraged I became.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Now you want to throw yourself out on dating apps where it's too late already.
Now you want to put yourself out there, right? Right. Now you're 40 years old. You've been through all of them blind dates. and
No.
nobody was good enough for you.
Yeah, because their mindset is, I'm gonna find someone else better.
He's gonna be perfect, right? That's hypergamy. Here we go.
Every conversation felt repetitive. Every meeting left me more drained. I started to wonder if love was even possible for me anymore. At 32, the reality of aging hit hard. The men introduced to me were no longer the successful, single professionals I once met.
She don't qualify for them no more.
I thought she started feeling like an old lady already, but
You feel like old lady?
no, I don't feel old.
God, you are aging so rapidly.
I feel young.
So young and vivacious?
Yes.
Okay. You sure your back is okay?
Yeah, my back is okay.
All right.
They were divorced men, men with children, or those struggling financially. My standards clashed with my growing desperation. I told myself, lower your expectations, it's better than being alone. Yet every time I compromised, I felt a deeper sense of dissatisfaction. By 35, I succumbed to family pressure and agreed to date a divorced man 10 years my senior. He was stable and kind at first, but as we got closer, his expectations suffocated me. He wanted me to quit my job and care for his child from a previous marriage. His habits, smoking, drinking, clashed with my lifestyle, and soon our relationship was filled with arguments. I ended it, feeling like I had failed yet again.
Smoking and drinking for me is like a red flag.
but look, it's China. Like 60 to 70% of the men in China smoke. So it's huge. Yeah, it's a big thing. And in business, you gotta smoke. And when you're doing business meetings, KTV stuff, you gotta smoke.
Really?
It's part of the culture.
Where will I get the money if you're going to ask me to quit
Okay,
my
what
job?
if I supported you?
Supported you, then I'm gonna quit.
You take care of my funky ass kid. My kids ain't funky ass kids. Actually. Good kids.
Yeah, I'll take care of them.
Aw, that's sweet.
You're all right. You're all right.
My lifestyle, and soon our relationship was filled with arguments. I ended it, feeling like I had failed yet again. Now, at 40, I've stopped looking. My family no longer pushes me to marry, and my friends have either moved on to their own families or stopped asking about my love life altogether.
They gave up. They threw in the towel.
Yeah. Shit, her friends got like 2-3 kids, been married for 20 for
X amount of years.
20 years, 15, 20 years, and she's still struggling to get a date.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So they got tired of asking.
Right.
So now we're not gonna ask you anymore.
We ain't asking you a damn thing, right? How's your? Never mind. yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
I've come to terms with my choices, but that doesn't mean I don't feel regret. I look back at my 20-year-old self and wish I could tell her, love isn't perfect. Security is important, but so is connection. Don't let fear make your choices for you. The years I spent chasing perfection were years wasted. I thought there was always something better, that love would come neatly packaged with everything else I wanted. But life doesn't work that way. True love is rare, and it often comes when you least expect it. If you're young and reading this, please take my story as a warning. Don't let fear, pride, or societal expectations dictate your happiness. If you find someone who truly cares for you, don't let them go because they don't fit a checklist. Perfection doesn't exist, and sometimes love is messy and imperfect, and that's okay.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Yes,
deep.
deep.
Yeah, that was deep.
Realization.
She broke it down, didn't she?
Yeah, I know. And regret comes at the end. Always comes at the end.
It's ego, man. It's ego. I could do better. I know I could do better. I can get better than him. I can do better than her.
A lot of people will tell you now you can do better. You can find someone else. But if you listen to those whispers, they're not the ones who's going to be alone. Yeah. So you have to this is what I want. He ticked the boxes that I have, not all of them, but I can compromise. Right. So you can't have everything. So you just have at least majority of what you want and then work on the others, because the other person will also do the same for you. So if you both compromise, and it will work things out.
I kind of agree. I got caught into that kind of the hypergamy thing where I'm like, she's all right, but I could do better. Yeah. Where we did that video.
Yeah,
where you get caught up. Yeah, you kind of keep thinking, but she's this, but I could get a woman who's a little bit of this, or
especially that your qualifications are
right, and I think, like she said, it ain't always going to be perfect. Love ain't always going to be perfect. He's not going to meet every single qualification or standard you have.
No such thing.
And it don't exist. Does he or she have 80% of what you're looking for? And is the 20% something you can compromise on? And if so, you might want to think twice before you walk away. If you keep being stupid and your ego gets the best of you, you can end up just like her.
Yeah.
Just like her.
So you just keep wanting for more. I don't. You always say to yourself that I deserve this and that.
I should have this.
Yeah, I should have this. I should have that. I can find this with another man. But who knows? You cannot predict the future. I
can. And if I was with this dude, he drives a better car, or he could buy me a better car, or I could live in a better house if I was with this dude, this other dude. But you don't. But like she said, connection though.
That's
connection
important.
It's huge. That's huge.
Because at the end of the day, it's not material things. It's your connection with you and your partner, companionship, how you talk, how your day runs without talking about money. So
definitely. I mean, as much as you make me crazy, we connect. We have, I mean, for real. I'm half joking. I mean, you don't really make me crazy, but we have a connection, and
we always have something to talk about.
There's always something to talk about with us, and it would be I understand it would be very hard to go out and find somebody else that brings that same kind of connection. So yeah. You're all right.
You're all right.
Looking back, I would trade all the material things I once thought mattered for a chance to be with someone who truly loved me. Life is unpredictable, and when love comes your way, hold on to it. Don't let it slip through your fingers, as I did. Learn from my mistakes. Choose connection over fear, and embrace the imperfections of love.
Gotcha.
Not
but it might be. She can't. I mean, she might not even be able to have babies. She might not. I mean, she's kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Because in China, look, when you get 40 years old, your chance of getting married is like this.
Yeah.
I mean, for reals. You have almost no chance of getting married unless you marry a dude who's divorced with kids. He has to be divorced. It's the only way you can get married.
Most of the women are like irritated with the word settling because they don't really want to settle. You're not settling. You are compromising.
They're settling for your ass.
Yeah, you're just lower your standards because not everybody's going to be perfect.
Nah. When you get to that stage, they're settling for you. Believe that. They're settling for you. And I mean, honestly, in China, and it's not just China, because it's the same in the US. You hear the same things in the U.S. in Western culture. I don't want to settle. I don't want to. Baby, you are 40 years old, and in the West, she got kids. In China, the woman doesn't have kids. She's not having kids. Women don't have children out of wedlock in China. It just does not happen. Period. So that's just so forget that. But in the West, these women are 40 years old with children talking about I don't want to settle. So who's settling? You settling? He's settling for you. Anyway. All right, next clip?
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
The reason why, at this point, my attitude toward relationships is not as rushed is because I have spent a long time putting a lot of energy and effort into love and relationships. As I've mentioned before, I have many single older female friends, some of whom are not really interested in looking for a relationship, while I, in the past, was always the one seeking. When I was in my 20s, there were fewer arranged dates. I was never the type to actively seek them out, but I'd often meet people through friends. However, as soon as I heard the person's conditions or knew the meeting would be just a casual conversation, I wasn't interested. I didn't really spend much time on this, it was rare for me. Back then, I thought that by the time I reached 27 or 28, I would eventually meet someone. But when I turned 28 and then 30 and still hadn't met anyone, I started to feel a little anxious.
But what she said that, she wasn't interested in casual conversations. But that's where it starts. Casual conversations. You see the connection first. It's like a first date, You see where you vibe, where you have that connection, and then you flourish or you continue with that. But if you're dismissing already the casual conversations, then how are you going to end up with someone?
And here's the thing. We see all these women. And they're all decent looking. They're all six. They're all at least sixes, at least,
6.5, 7.
But here's the crazy thing about China. That's a diamond. Women like her, she's not an ugly woman by far, But women like her are a dime a dozen. You can get a woman like this everywhere. I mean, everywhere. They would say this woman is common. It's just very common. She's average at best. And that's the problem. There's 1.4 billion people. There's a lot of competition out there.
Especially when I was 30. I felt like I had matured a lot more than when I first started working, I thought I was ready to be in a relationship, thinking about having children in the future and dealing with the issues that would come up. I believed I would meet someone quickly, so I put in a lot of effort, went on many arranged dates, especially between the ages of 30 and 33 or 34. Over those years,
But it's too late.
Yeah, they keep
China,
delaying. I can find someone better, or I can meet someone when I reach this age. But you don't know that.
I think there's a huge resemblance between what goes on in China and what's happening in the West. And the thought process of the women. Like, oh, I can do better. I can get a better man who does this, who has this, has that. How about you just focus on yourself and what you bring to the table? And do you connect? Are you willing? Can you work together? You know what I'm saying? Can you work together? Can we build something together instead of trying to find somebody ready-made and you're going to catch them at the finish line?
Yeah, doesn't work that way.
Over those years, I met a lot of people, through friends, acquaintances, even some who didn't know me well but thought I was nice and wanted to introduce me to someone. I also met people online and through matchmakers. I tried everything to find someone. As for the current outcome, I'm very satisfied. If I think about all the people I've been involved with, or even just those I met on arranged dates, it doesn't matter how good their criteria were or what the person was like. If you ask me if I regret not taking certain opportunities, I've thought a lot about it. And my answer is no, I wouldn't have chosen differently. The opportunities one missed in the past, I still wouldn't choose. I believe the current outcome is the best possible. My future and love, what's to come, should be waiting for me on the path ahead. So,
that's fairy tale.
First of all, that's cap. If she spent that much time thinking about it, then obviously there's some regrets, right?
Yeah, you did a lot of reflecting.
Yeah. You was reflecting for a reason.
Yeah, you're reflecting for a reason, and you think that your decisions impacted what you have right now, or what you don't have.
Right, and now she's trying to lie to herself. Oh, I'm okay with it. I made the right decisions.
I'm not gonna choose.
I wouldn't choose anything different. I would. Yeah, come on. That's cope. But look, if that helps her get through her day, then I'm cool with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's her way to cope.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the video. We might have talked a little bit too much. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll have to cut a little bit out of that. But as you can see, there's a striking similarity between the Western mindset and what's going on here in Asia, especially China and Korea as well. And it's coming to the Philippines. It's definitely, the mindset is definitely changing.
So going back to what I said earlier, I think for the most part, Filipinas are more concerned about building a connection with their partner rather than, what can I get? Although, it's a given because as women, we want safety and security from our partner. But although, we focus more on the emotional connection that we will have with our partner rather than...
Is that all Filipinas?
Not all Filipinas, for the most Filipinas.
Gotcha.
Including me. Yeah, including me.
I just care about what's going on with you.
Okay.
Right. Join us for our next video. We're going to bring something to you that you are definitely going to like.
And hopefully we're not going to make your blood pressure rise.
It won't make your blood. It might make some other things rise.
Oh yeah.
I feel like old.
No, I don't feel old. I feel young.
So young and vivacious?
Yes.
Okay. You sure your back is okay?
Yeah, my back is okay.
All right.
Her back will be.
Let's go.
If she didn't try, she just dip, she just walk away. That means she's not really into it.
She wasn't really into it in the first place, right? Yeah. So that's what I think. I mean, if you really love a mother, sorry. Dude, all day today, you've been like giggly, like.
Nah, I'm just happy.
Smurf.
I'm just happy.
You're like Jokey Smurf today.
I'm Smurfette, the only Smurf that you'll have.
Okay. Smurfette was kind of cute.
I know.
Right, she was blue though.
I don't want to be blue.
Yeah, that was
Avatar.
That was my whole problem. She was blue. She was still blue.
Okay, anyway.
Anyway.
But a lot of Filipinos still think traditionally we don't usually request for a dowry or anything like that.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
You need a dowry?
I don't need a dowry.
Sure.
You need dowry?
Yeah, you gotta pay to marry me.
Huh? Okay.
You gotta pay to get
How
me.
much?
Yeah, we'll talk about it off camera.
Okay.
You gotta pay some money, yeah.
I'm gonna prepare my check.
Maybe, check, so you gonna give me a check?
It will bounce.
Don't forget, if you like this video, we have other videos that are just as good, if not better, so check those out too. In the meantime, in between time, I'm Richie Rich for Richie Rich Abroad.
And this is Chang.
Deuces.
We're out.
We're out.